the Latina Leadership Podcast, the podcast made for Latinas by Latinas, with Angelica Cázares, Carolina Arenas, Diana Ruby, Jacqueline Villagomez, and Sonia Ramirez. Get comfortable, amiga, and enjoy the conversations.
So welcome to the Latina Leadership Podcast. My name is Carolina Arenas and I'll be your host for today. In celebration of International Women's Day, we are happy and honored to have Miss Andrea Arana with us today, a Latina entrepreneur and Latina-owned business, Mujer Fuerte. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for
So
having
excited.
me. Welcome to the shop.
Oh yes, we'll get to it first. So again, we said we're in the shop, but there's a long process that I'm sure that you went through to get here. So if you can let us know a little bit first of your background, who you are, and then we'll take it from there.
So, like Carolina said, her name's Andrea. I started Las Perras Cafe, the actual brand, about a year ago. But I had already started planning having a coffee shop probably November of 2021, a couple of months after I gave birth to my baby. So I found a space, started buying all the equipment, started getting investments from friends and family, very small budget, and we were projected to open in June of 2022. That process did not come to fruition in June of 22. We then said November of 2022, and then the project fell through. So that was very disappointing. But I am not somebody who takes no for an answer. Especially now that I have a child, I feel like it's very important for me to be an example to my son that if you have your heart set on something, that it's important to keep persevering and keep trying and surround yourself with people who believe in you, people who want to see you win, and they'll talk about you in and out there and help you get opportunities to find a space. And at the end of January, I came into Idle Hands, which is where we are right now, to meet Neen Williams because he's doing a collaboration with his Wagyu beef and seasoning line here at Idle Hands. So it's called Not a Damn Chance Burgers, and you can get those every day at 4 o'clock when they're open. So I brought a bag of beans because I'm always networking, and I met him and the owners of the space, and I just said, hey, like, I'm looking for an opportunity. If you know of anyone that needs a coffee vendor, try the beans, let me know what you think. I'd love to chat. And he was kind of not really paying attention because I was mostly talking to Neen, but then the next day when I shared the picture of the event, he's like, hey, did I hear you say you're looking for a space? And I was like, yeah. He's like, do you have time to chat? And I'm like, absolutely. So we got on the phone. Fast forward to, I guess, like a week later, I came to meet them. We talked about rent, and I found a space.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So I hear you say you don't take no from anyone.
Yeah.
And you do amazing networking. I actually met you as a vendor. So I would like to share with our listeners Andrea's journey to get to where you are. Okay, so now you own a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Which I'll get to that too.
Yeah.
But what took Andrea to get here?
So,
And as a Latina.
yeah.
Let's not forget about
Okay, so I think there's a lot of things that go into shaping who I become as a person. My father is an entrepreneur. He has a furniture company. My grandmother was a businesswoman before that. On my dad's side, basically that's all they know is owning a business, busting your butt to provide for your family. That's all that they know on that side. On my mom and my stepdad's side, I traveled around the world because my stepdad was in the military. So I'm not shy. I can, basically make a conversation with anybody about anything. And I have a lot of interest. So when I was in Japan in high school, my culinary arts teacher just got along really well, and she gave me like a leadership role. It was like they were barely rolling out the program, so I was able to have 2 full years of culinary arts. And she's the one who introduced me to the world of hospitality. From there, I went to hospitality school at UNLV. They have a hotel program. like Las Vegas that much for a lot of reasons. I just didn't really vibe with it.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's not as diverse as I would have liked. So yeah, I ended up moving to Houston in 2011. And I went to the University of Houston, Middleton College, which is an amazing program. They have evolved the program so much since I've started school back in 2011. And so after that, I worked in fine dining. I worked in hotels. I lived in Dallas, worked in Galveston. Worked in fine dining in different places around Houston. But I've always wanted to open my own coffee shop. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and specialty coffee was something that I knew in the back of my mind that I was going to eventually pursue. But I kind of wanted to get that fine dining experience and really learn all there is to know about
So like the background to be
the corporate side of
yeah.
things, so that I knew what I was getting myself into with accounting, with marketing, with employee relations, and I do think that that's helped me a lot because I've learned more from the bad leaders than I have from the great leaders. You learn what you don't want to be. For example, Pearl up behind me here, we had a very informal interview and we really connected on the fact that there have been times when we've wanted to walk away from hospitality altogether just because there's been experiences that have really weighed heavy on us, and it can be a little triggering for people. And I have very high standards, but I also think that there is a right way and a wrong way to talk to people, and there's a right way and a wrong way to handle your business. And so I never want anyone to say that I was a bad boss. They might not like my standards, we might not be aligned in that way, but they could never say that I didn't treat them with respect. So, went off on a little tangent there.
You're hitting points.
I think everything that I've done prior to this has really shaped what I want my company to represent and what I don't want it to represent. So basically everybody who works with me, we all get paid the same. Nobody has obviously I'm not a winner, but we're a team. So we all make the same amount, and I just believe in wage transparency, and I just think that that's something that a lot of people don't believe can work. But if I fail trying to give everybody that works with me a good life, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I can hang up my hat knowing that I tried to do something different.
Now, why coffee? How did you get into coffee?
I think coffee is a commodity that is grown in parts of the world that people don't necessarily value the work of people, but we like to try to not me personally, but society likes to co-opt it just like so many other commodities in our world. And so for me, I like to kind of take it back. Coffee is for marginalized groups. We are the ones who produce it. We are the ones who bring it to America. And I want to be part of the supply chain where I'm actually in the ownership role, where I can teach somebody else to be in the ownership role. And it's something that's also you can really geek out when it comes to coffee. Every coffee is different. You have to roast it differently. It's going to pull differently on espresso. Different coffees will mix better with certain syrups or milks versus others, but you wouldn't want to add milk to them. So I came from that world of wine, spirits, and that can get very intricate. And you're able to do that with coffee, but it's more of that repeat business where you're building a connection with somebody, where as opposed to if someone comes to your restaurant, you may or may not see them again, but when you build a relationship with somebody in a coffee shop, you really get to know people, you become part of their day,
You're a counselor, a free counselor.
Exactly. I love
not free, you gotta buy a coffee for the counseling session.
I love talking to people, I love building relationships with people, I love to name my drinks after people that inspire me, and I just think that when you're doing something you love, that's what you were put on this earth to do, and so to do it to the best of your ability, that's how you can contribute. I might not be curing cancer, I might not be putting out fires, but I can do something powerful by treating people with respect that work for me and brightening their day.
So I, as many of you might know, I am a coffee addict. I love coffee, but it's also something that I think, since we were, as Latinos, Latinas, Hispanic culture, coffee is in our home. It's a form of bringing our families together, or that we you have a friend over, oh, venga, el cafecito, let's sit down, drink a coffee. So my question for you is, how does your Latina roots, culture, your family, what do you incorporate from that upbringing into your business now? Or what did it have to inspire you into Las Perras Cafe?
Well, I think the name, we can start with the
Yes,
name.
I want to ask that. Ese nombre, like how, where, when?
So, I guess there's a lot of things that we could talk about when it comes to the name, but I definitely want for it to be inviting to all. My demographic is women. I want it to be inviting to all, but I also want it to be kind of like an inside joke. So, if you don't know, you might say, oh, is it a dog cafe? But if you're in the know, you're like, oh, that's a cool name. Or if maybe you're a little bit tightly wound, you're gonna say, oh my god, this is
Ese nombre, yeah, I'm thinking reggaeton, right? Like perreo.
Yeah. Or just like my homegirl,
Yes.
And I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of a silly person, but I also have I'm also very passionate, so I think also taking back the derogatory form of that name and making it something that's more inviting and just like you're welcome when you're here. This is for you. I everything that I put into this space was with you in mind. So that I don't know. I guess to tie it back into the Latinidad thing, I am a Latina, but I'm also I wasn't really raised with a lot of Latinos because I was a military brat. So I definitely love being a part of that community. But we contain multitudes, and I have so many other things that represent me besides my Latinidad. So I think just wanting to be a good representation for Latinas is how I would tie Latinidad into my business.
That's beautiful. And again, being military brat, like you guys call it, I think that also probably opened up many more doors for you as far as like learning from other cultures.
Yeah.
And again, coffee brings together other cultures, right? Because so for instance, where do you purchase your coffee from?
So right now we have coffee from Brazil, Mexico, Honduras. Those are the 3 countries that we have right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like I said, so that brings it all together.
Yeah. And Guatemala, we have a
there we go. So again, you went from being a vendor to now having what they call brick and mortar coffee house. What difficulties did you find yourself having in achieving that transition? Or let's say 1 difficulty, 2 difficulties, and then positive things.
Well, when I thought I was gonna, basically this setup that we're in right now, we're renting out a bar during the day. So this is
which is beautiful, by the way, guys. There's
it's
top
beautiful.
outside,
I can't take credit for all this beautiful lighting and all the paint. I'm renting out a bar during the day. So the hardest part for me was trying to raise capital for a space that I thought was going to have an oven. So buying an oven, buying equipment, going to the auction, trying to figure out how to get it home because I knew that I was going to have a space only for it to fall through. I wasted all this money because somebody wasn't able to fulfill their end of our arrangement. That was definitely the most challenging.
But it did not stop.
But it didn't stop me, and I just think that it's like a superhero's origin story. Like if it was that easy, it wouldn't be interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You have to make the story better for people, and I just think you appreciate the final product more when you have a little bit of setbacks. I mean, I would, if somebody would have told me that in November, I would have punched them in the face. But I can say that
I'm glad
now.
it wasn't me.
Yeah. But I can say that now. Like everything happens for a reason. This location is amazing. I hope they keep us here. Even if after March, if they say, hey, Andrea, like it's not working out for us, I'm gonna find something better. And I attribute it to me just not taking no for an answer and the amazing people that I surround myself with.
That's amazing. So, do you consider yourself a leader?
I do. I'm the firstborn, so I think I've always had that bossy
that's
attitude. I'm the oldest, so yeah, I've always been a little headstrong. I'm also a Leo, so take with that what you will. I would definitely consider and not just a leader, but a mentor. I try to mentor anybody that works with me. I want to help them in whatever way I can. If somebody finds a better opportunity, I would never want to hold them back. So that's what I think being a good leader is not just like telling someone how to do directly, but just also setting them free when they're ready for their next step in their journey.
Okay, and to our listeners that want to come and get that good coffee, where are we located right now?
So we're at 910 Westheimer. We're right across the street, next to Uchi. You have Velvet Taco across the way. We're right next to Aladdin's, Mediterranean. So we're right in the heart of Montrose. I love this neighborhood.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then top selling coffee, which is your top selling coffee?
Well, from before we got in here, obviously I can only base those sales because I've only had a couple days of sales. But the Alma Negra is the top selling drink that we have. So it's a dark chocolate Oaxacan cocoa with some spices in there, Guatemalan cold brew, and then all of our drinks are oat milk based, so they're dairy free.
Wow. Okay, so you guys heard it here. You have to come by Las Perras Cafe and order your Alma Negra, which is what I think I'm gonna drink after we're done with this.
Yes. Social media is Las Perras Cafe, so just like the name. On TikToks, Instagram, and then our website is lasperrascafe.com.
But again, thank you so much for being here with us today. And again, Latina Leadership Podcast. Gracias. Y a tomar cafecito. Ciao.
Sí, muchas gracias a todos.
What did you think of the conversation? If you enjoyed what you heard, let us know in the comments. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for listening to the Latina Leadership Podcast, and we will see you next time.